Okay, so you might be thinking about buying the fly juggling balls, and I just want to walk you through the actual story of how we made these, because I know it might look really simple from the front, but actually a lot went into getting these perfected. So let me walk you through exactly what it took to get the perfect juggling ball. The problem came from me looking at other juggling balls and not being fully satisfied. So it starts with something like this called a Russian. Now this is not a bad ball, but there's a couple problems with it. So firstly, it's pretty big, which means if you're trying to hold 2, 3, or even 4 balls, it's hard to fit this in one hand. Plus, they don't squish whatsoever, so you're not able to fit multiple really easily. You can kind of fix this by getting Russians that are smaller, so you can see I can fit more into my hand here, but there's still a similar problem when it comes to catching them, which is that you can't squish the balls, so it's still hard to catch multiple in one hand. On the other end of that, we have bean bags, which squish really hard, but this comes with its own set of problems. They don't always keep their shape in the air too well, so they don't look very circular. Plus, sometimes they can squish so much that you miss a catch that you should have gotten because the ball doesn't stay whole in the air. So what was the solution to this? Well, I reached out to a million different manufacturers and paid hundreds of dollars of my own money to develop the perfect ball. And when I say that, I mean I reached out to a manufacturer, had them send me a bunch of samples. They turned out terribly, so I had to reach out to a new manufacturer. For example, here's one of the beginner testing balls that we started working out with an old logo, and this does not look anything like the model that I have now. Here's what one of the samples that we have looks like, and you can see we went through a million different options, like this one with 12 panels, this one with 12 panels and some weird colors, and a bunch of different options, all with different fill amounts, different sizes, and different panels until we found the perfect one. You can even come right here and look into the box. I mean, this is just how many samples we actually have and that we went through before we actually figured out which one we were gonna go with. And that's how we came to the final design of the fly juggling balls. Here's everything that we decided on. Firstly, the size. I have them designed just the right size, so when you juggle, they're still pretty big in the air, but you're still pretty easily able to fit 3 or more in one hand. In fact, I can juggle 7 balls, and you can see I can pretty easily even just hold 4 in one hand upside down, and it's a little hard to do in the ceiling, but you get the idea. Next, they're around 90% filled, which I found was a really good balance between actually being able to squish the balls in your hand, but still having the full look in the air when you actually juggle. We picked millet as the filling because it just feels really satisfying when you catch with millet. And for the weight, we went with 110 grams, which really feels like the right balance that you need for a juggling ball. And then finally, we have the material, which is something I actually really like about these balls. With a normal juggling ball, it tends to just have a pretty glossy material, but with the fly juggling balls, it's designed to have a really grippy exterior. You might even be able to see on camera all the little dimples in there. That means that every time you throw and catch the balls, it sinks into your hands a little bit, which makes it way easier than a normal juggling ball. So that's one of the last reasons that I absolutely love these. And then currently, we're still holding all the inventory in-house. So when you order, we get it on our back end. And then when you order, we get the balls physically out of our inventory. We pack the balls for you, and then use this nifty machine here to print out your shipping label, which in the end looks something like this. We bring this to the post office, and then it's sent directly to you. So when you get your own set of the fly juggling balls, not only does that go to supporting juggling and the content that I've tried to put out for you guys, but also gets you access to the best juggling ball set in the entire world. And if you're still curious about the product, you can look through this product page to see everything there is to know about them, as well as all the countless examples of people using them and the reviews we've gotten on them, which have been almost entirely positive so far. And I know that sounds like I'm just like marketing, but genuinely I was surprised at how overwhelmingly positive the reviews actually were on these balls. So yeah, that's the story behind the fly juggling balls, and we appreciate your support.